Hello, I'm Naïma. Happy New Year. I hope that 2023 has started off well for you. When you're living with a chronic condition, it can feel almost impossible to schedule and plan your life in a way that allows you to still rest and feel like you're getting what you need to get done. January always feels like a fresh start for me, and recently there are a few things that I've applied to my life that have allowed me to manage my illness better. For a long time, it always felt like I was trying to cram as much into my day as I used to before I got ill, or not doing anything at all and bored, frustrated, and feeling unfulfilled, until I found this new system and this new way of organizing myself first thing in the morning. That's what I'll be sharing in this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new here. This channel is about making sense of illness and what happens when your life is interrupted and it takes you down a path you hadn't planned for. I use a combination of 3 tools to get myself organized in the morning and to plan my day. The first one is a brand new one that I discovered in the last month called Visible. I use Notion as well, and I use my Notes app. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. Visible is a new app. It is the activity tracking app for illness, not fitness. The founder is someone who got long COVID and tried to use his regular fitness tracking apps to track his illness and found that the current tools were very much lacking. So he went away and built a business to create something that could support us. It's for people with invisible illnesses, and it allows you to use data to pace your activity, manage your symptoms, and help move science forward. So immediately after waking up, I open the Visible app and I do a morning check-in. I tell the app how I slept, ranging from awful, bad, fair to good. And then I place my finger on the back camera on my phone, and this takes a reading of my heart rate variability and my resting heart rate. This is the first thing that I do as I wake up so that I can get a consistent reading at the same time every day. Once you've recorded this data for 4 days, the app is able to calculate what your baseline is, and it can start to tell you whether you are at, below, or above your baseline. And it's a really great guide for me to know when I need to slow down and when I can do a little bit more that day. You can also assess that data over time. In the evening, I do another check-in where I record the severity of my symptoms, ranging from none, mild, moderate to severe. The app allows you to configure this depending on what symptoms you have. I then record how much I exerted myself that day, whether emotionally, physically, or cognitively. I can also record whether I'm on my period, in the middle of a crash, and what medication I have used. This is a great way for me to assess how I'm doing and really interrogate myself on whether I'm feeling better, worse, how symptoms are evolving, or whether I've overdone it and I need to rest. The second part of this process involves me using a Notion template. Notion is the best note-taking app that I've ever used. It allows you to create notes in whatever format you want. So as you can see, I've been using this template since August. And let's have a look. So today is the 8th of January. What I do is I note down a few thoughts and a few things that I'm grateful for. I then have a list of tasks that I do pretty much every day, and then I add different ones. So for example, today my main task for the day is film YouTube video, right? So I then, so this is a cognitive task, so I label it as such, and this is the one task, this is the most important task for me that day. Other days it might be work-related things, or it could even be something like go for lunch with my family, and that would take a lot of energy up, so I put that as the main task. And then I tick them off as I go along, and I note down when I'm going to be doing this task. So the time now is, so it's going to be between 11:30 and 1 o'clock. And then I can start to take these off as I go along. So I've already read for 30 minutes, I've journaled, and I've done my breath work already. And that's pretty much all I've done so far this morning. And then what it allows me to do is to see whether I've got too much cognitive, social, or physical activity. So today I've got no physical activity, but for example, if I was going to do a 5-minute walk, I would note that down here and I would write physical, and I would put that as, and I can also prioritize depending on how important something is. It's really helping me to record what I'm doing every day and to really interrogate what is a priority every day. And it could be that I wake up feeling awful, and in that case I completely lower this down, so I remove anything that is not 100% required for that day. And the final part of this process involves me taking notes on what I have done throughout the day and when. So I write 8th of Jan 2023. I note down absolutely everything I do throughout the day. This allows me to know what could have triggered a relapse or a crash, and it also allows me to keep track of what I'm doing and whether I'm overdoing it in certain areas. It might seem a bit over the top, but what I discovered since doing this is that I always think I've done less than I actually have. So for example, I work 2-3 hours a day, and before I did this I would often work 4 or 5 hours a day without even realizing, and I would wonder why I felt so much fatigue. So this allows me to stay within my energy envelope. Let me show you pretty much roughly what I've done today. So 9 a.m. to 9:45, breath work, journaling and rehydrating. Then from 9:45 onwards, 9:35 to 10:30, I was reading in bed. 10:30 to 11:30, having breakfast while watching a documentary, and then 11:30 to now, basically, filming YouTube video. And then I do this throughout the day, and I can see exactly what I have been doing. It's been a couple months since I've been implementing these systems, and they've really helped me to understand my illness better and how I'm doing. I'd love to hear what works for you, because I'm always looking for new tips on how to manage this confusing condition. What tools and systems are enabling you to keep track of your health? Check out one of my latest videos on what experts are saying about long COVID, and I'll see you in my next video.